A few thoughts now on our president-elect's brilliant campaign to upset and upend the calcified orthodoxy of the political establishment in Washington and to tick off leaders of the People's Republic of China at the same time. And all he had to do was just pick up the phone and start talking with the President of Taiwan, Tsai Ing-wen. Donald Trump doesn't take office for another 45 more days, but he's already making history, from his victory to making deals with businesses like Carrier and now talking with Taiwan's president. The first time a U.S. leader has talked directly with Taiwan's leadership in 35 years. The left-wing national media slamming Trump for daring to do such an outrageous thing. The daffy, utterly laughable left of the media having itself quite a little fit. The New York Times all snarky and complaining in their articles today, but without an original sound thought about how did such rigidity in American thinking ever form in the first place. It all goes back to Jimmy Carter, the guy who couldn't extricate hostages from Iran, who gave away the Panama Canal, who declared almost 40 years ago that we faced a global critical energy shortage, and who came up with the One China strategy, coming this close to handing over Taiwan to the Chinese communists. Here's the New York Times headline to the article about Trump's call to President Tsai. How Trump's calls to world leaders are upsetting decades of diplomacy. Golly. And the Los Angeles Times questioning whether Trump caused a, quote, diplomatic crisis over Taiwan. A diplomatic crisis? God forbid we should ever have such a thing, especially over a telephone call. Get a grip. And the White House today joined in without an iota of self-awareness nor irony. Here is White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest.
I think it's hard to determine exactly what the aim was of the president-elect. Some of the progress that we have made in our relationship with China could be undermined by this issue flaring up.
Hell, he's starting to talk like his president. What progress in our relationship with China? Obama's passivity remains unstirred as Chinese provocations have only risen in his time in office. Undercut them. Good Lord. What have they done? And when it comes to diplomatic protocol, I believe the Chinese are the ones who rolled back 40 years of diplomatic protocol when they decided to fly two of their nuclear-capable bombers around Taiwan for the first time ever. Those bombers accompanied by fighter jets in a November 26 provocation about a week before Trump's call with the Taiwanese president. So who is creating diplomatic crises? Trump, in my opinion, is sending a strong message to China. And my guess is China's leaders are considering whether they really want the next step in escalation. And I think they're correct in their awakening assumption that it could all get very expensive for the Chinese very suddenly. Now the quotation of the evening, this one from Ronald Reagan, who did far more than talk on a phone with a world leader to often disturb the mood of the left wing and the national media. Russell Baker reminds us, quote, those who remember Washington's Cold War culture in the 1980s will recall the shocked reaction to Reagan's intervention. People interested in foreign policy were astonished when he met alone at Geneva, alone, not a single strategic thinker at his elbow, with the Soviet communist master, Gorbachev. Sometimes it's good to get away from the office and smash the hell out of those orthodoxies.